and calm, connected, and confident. Yes, I'm Brenda Kish, your transformative Neuro Reiki master, here to help turn your struggles into miracles so that you can live the life that you truly desire. So I hope that you've taken these past 2 days and really have sat and done the work and been with and stayed present and connected and committed to yourself in this journey. Today is day 3, and we're going to learn to see your life through a new lens. You know, perspective is everything. The way you see things is the way that they are. And I know that sounds really funny, and you've heard the half cup, half empty, half full. Well, I want to tell you a little secret. It's not much of a secret if you've done any type of work with wanting to better yourselves, but there's been a study done on plants. There was these 2 plants, and they've done it on water as well. And one plant was told to wonderful, loving, kind, beautiful things. Given the same amount of sunlight and food and all of that, was another plant. The same plant just gave the same food, sunlight, and nourishment, but was also told that life was going to be hard and challenging and struggling, and said negative things too. Well, guess what? The one that was spoken and saw opportunities and things to move forward and to be happy about life grew. The other one shriveled up and died. So today is your chance to take on a new pair of glasses, and see yourself in a new light. And one of the best ways and the best tools that I have to help you in that area is learning to ask yourself quality questions. See, when you are in a stressful state or an overwhelmed state or in a state full of anxiety or spinning out of control or frustrated or angry or anything, you go into questioning. Your subconscious mind will start to question yourself. And so today we're really going to learn to develop empowering questions and see what your core question is. There's a core question that you've learned in your life, usually before the age of 8, that takes you to a place of anxiety, stress, or overwhelmed. And that question is the foundation for all your other questionings. So it's important that we get to the root cause of what it is so that you can then begin to take on new questions and new core questions, develop new empowering questions so that you can then create the life that you want. See, the subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and real. So here's your opportunity to dig in with your questioning so that you can see and experience life through a new set of glasses. So to get started today, I'm just reading over the workbook here. I'd like you to take a minute right now. Take 1 minute right now and start to write down the questions that you ask yourself. And if you think you don't ask yourself questions, you do, unconsciously or subconsciously. So allow yourself now just to tap into 10 questions that you asked yourself today or yesterday. And the question could be repeating. If it's the same question over and over again, that's acceptable as well. But I want you to write down 10. You know, when I did this exercise, I wrote down 100 questions that I asked myself a day. I wanted to really dig in and see what was going on and how my questioning was affecting my life. And it used to be questions like, what's wrong with me? And why is this happening to me? Why can't I lose weight? Why do I always have to be on the diet? Why do my husband have to work and I have to stay home with my kids? Why can't I do the things I want to do? Why am I always there for everybody else, but no one's there for me? Why won't my kids sleep? Why can't I find my keys? Why can't I don't know, all of those really disempowering questions. So take a moment right now and write down 10 questions that you ask yourself. And this exercise today will be life-changing if you choose now to re-establish your line of questioning. Because when you reestablish your line of questioning and begin to ask yourself better questions, you'll have an even better life. So I'd love to hear a question or two in the comments, so go ahead and write that down. And I'm just going to go with some of the examples that I shared with you as far as, some of the questions that I've asked myself in the past or clients have asked, myself. So when you look at your questions now, I want you to take a moment and rewrite them, put them in a state of empowerment, because you were born with all of the answers you need to live a calm, confident, connected life. However, if you're asking yourself the wrong questions, you get the wrong answers to take you away from those feelings that you truly desire, right? So I've had clients say, why can't I? Why does this always happen to me? Why can't I just be happier? Why can't I get out of anxiety or stress? Well, the mind, first of all, doesn't give you an answer to why. It's a looping question. You're just going to keep searching and searching and searching. So first, you want to start changing your why questions to what or how. So when you get into a state that you're feeling anxiety per se, instead of saying, why do I have so much anxiety? Why can't I get out of anxiety? The brain doesn't get you to that answer because there's no answer. It's always because, right? So this time, instead of saying why, how about we choose what or how? What can you do right now to get you out of anxiety? Right? So there's a couple components in there that are super important. It's the what or how. And then it's also getting you into the moment. Remember, we talked about everything revolving around the root chakra? Well, the root chakra is about living in the moment. And so you want your answers now, in this moment. So it's important that you say, when you're asking yourself an empowering question, ask yourself, what do I need to do right now to release my anxiety or to feel even better? And the word even is an abundant word, and you want to use that word in your questioning too, so the subconscious mind's like, oh, we already got that, we want more of it, right? Instead of from a lack of perspective. So to give you a couple examples of empowering questions, because what you're going to do is take those lists of 10 that you ask yourself, and you're going to convert them into empowering questions. And then you have at least 10 empowering questions at your disposal, right? So if one of your questions was, why is this happening to me? The question can be turned into, what can I do right now to feel even better? If it's, why do I always have to stay home? The question could be, what can I do right now? Or how can staying home be even funner, if that's what you want, right now? Right? So you have your questions, how and what, and then right now is the other important part. So I'd love to hear some empowering questions that you have. Go ahead and put them in the comments, because why not share with everybody and everybody can support each other? That would be awesome. So taking this time to shift that perspective and do that will be so important, and giving you a new set of lens. There's 3 powerful empowering questions that I think are pretty generic that anybody can use. And I feel like adopting these into your everyday vocabulary will be so helpful for you in learning to see out of a new set of lenses. So the first one is, what is good about this? I remember a few years back, I was sitting at my office and I was waiting for a client to come, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And then 5 minutes after her appointment, she texted me and said she couldn't make it. And so I was like, okay, I can let this go one way or another, right? I could be really annoyed that I sat here for 25 minutes waiting for her, or I can say, what's good about this right now? And so I chose to feel good and to ask myself quality questions. So I chose to say, well, what's good about this right now? And it was, oh, okay, I got to sit here and relax and be still for 25 minutes. Oh, now I have another hour that I didn't have, that I could do whatever I want in that moment. Or I have the opportunity to get other work done. So what's good about this is so important. Is I want to say a question that could answer all things, right? All situations. You tend to question yourself when you're in stressful situations. So learning that when you are feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, taking that time to switch your vocabulary, switch it into empowering questions will be key. And adopting these 3 ones plus the 10 that you come up with is going to be life-changing for you. The other question is how is this serving me right now? Or how is this serving me right now? So in experiences, I'll give you another experience. I have a challenge with one of my sons. It's a challenge that currently still exists in our life and can be very stressful. It could be super stressful and frustrating and all of that. And sometimes it is. But the questions that I choose to ask myself in that situation helps me to alleviate those stressful situations. So learning how this is serving me is important. And sometimes in the moment, it doesn't feel that way. And I have to take a couple deep breaths and come back and then ask myself that. So if that's your case, that's okay too. It's fine to take a pause and ask yourself the questions. Sometimes we need to just take a little moment and shift our physiology, and we're going to learn about that tomorrow, our physiology, so that you can get to the resourceful answers. And I will tell you, sitting in a resourceful state helps you with that. So if you're sitting this way, asking yourself empowering questions, you're never going to get to the answer. So you want to sit up, shoulders back, maybe even look up and be like, okay, what's good about this? Because when your chest is open and you're looking up, you're going to get to resourcefulness more so with everything down. So it's important to, if you're not getting a resource, getting an answer that's empowering, it's not necessarily the question. You might need to change your physiology as well. So what's good about this right now? How is this serving me? And what's the lesson I'm here to learn right now? That's another really strong, powerful, empowering question. So learning to adopt those 3 questions will be super helpful for you. And what I'd like to do right now is just take you to a place where identifying your core question, like I said at the beginning of this call, is the question that you ask yourself at your core, and then it kind of morphs into all these other questions. And it has developed your line of questioning. And, honestly, myself, my line of questioning, what happened to me was I was sexually molested as a child. And as that happened, my uncle told me I was the pretty one. So my old core question was why was I the pretty one? Right? So I grew up not wanting to be pretty. I struggled with weight. I became very masculine. I wore my hair up all the time, no makeup. I went from wearing frilly, fun, princessy dress with my nails all done all the time to sweatpants, hair in a ponytail. And that's kind of how my life morphed. And then I struggled with weight because every time I lost weight, I felt vulnerable. I was the pretty one, so I had to gain weight. And so that core question dominated my behavior for so many years. And wouldn't you love to know what your core question is today so that you can begin to shift that and not let it dominate you? Going through this process is going to give you such an amazing awareness. You're still going to have to do the work to overcome the beliefs and everything around it, but this is a key to your next phase of healing. And so what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to find a comfortable seat. And if you're watching this on the go, I'm going to invite you to come back and watch it when you can be still. So feet flat on the floor. We're just going to go on a journey right here. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in together and exhaling. Just allowing yourself this time, this moment right here and now, to discover a belief, a core challenge, a core problem, so that you can begin to rewrite your story and not have to deal with the stress and the anxiety. So just taking a moment, settling in, feeling your feet on the floor. Know that you're safe right here and now. And allowing yourself now to go back in time to when you were a young girl or boy. And as you go back in time, usually around the age of 8, it may be 4, it may be after. But as you do that, go back to a time where you felt angry or upset or hurt or stressed. The very first time that you felt that, overwhelmed, lost. And as you allow yourself now to go back to that moment, just ask yourself, the younger you that you find there, ask her, what is the question that comes to you now? It's usually a pretty simple question, but very powerful. What is that question that you asked yourself? And once you have that question, come back to the here and now, open up your eyes, allowing yourself just to write that down in this moment. And as you write it down, realize you can let it go now. Woo! All right, with awareness comes change. And so again, I invite you now just to kind of shake it out, shake out that. If you have a sip of water, take a sip of water. And knowing that you have the power to change anything in your life, you have the choice to make anything in your life different if you choose to now. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine yourself living a life that you want. Just imagine what that feels like. I know you might not actually do it, feel it, but just imagine you do now. Imagine what it looks like. What feeling do you show up every single day or want to show up every single day? What is it that you need in your life more of? Is it security? Is it love? Is it confidence? Is it kindness? Is it boundaries? Whatever it is, allow this feeling to get stronger and stronger. See yourself the way you want to be seen. Hear what it's like to be you at your finest. And as you allow yourself to get this image and of you even bigger and brighter, ask yourself, what is the question that you need to ask yourself every day here on out? What is it? Know that it starts with what or how, and it brings you to the place that you want to go to. So an example of that, as you allow yourself to write down your own right here and now, could be, how can I be even happier right now? How can I feel even more confident right now? How can I feel even safer every day in my life here and now? Those are examples of new core questions. I would love to hear your new core questions. Your homework today is to make sure you rewrite your empowering questions and then utilize your new questions. Test it out, see how it works for you. And I want to actually share with you that I have a special opportunity this evening. I have a special opportunity for you coming up later today, for you to hear from someone very special that has changed her core question and has utilized different tools. So be on the lookout, and we'll see you then. Have a great day.